Namaste and a warm welcome to our special LinkedIn Live podcast on the eve of International Women's Day. Now, as we celebrate the spirit of Nari Shakti, we are honored to have two remarkable professionals from the HR and L&D domain, Aarti Chauhan and Ritu Manuja, joining us. Welcome, Aarti and Ritu.
Thank you, Sai.
Now, Aarti is a seasoned leader with 18 years of experience in leadership development, talent management, and inclusion and diversity. As the India lead of leadership development and inclusion and belong at Arvan RCM, Aarti drives strategies that foster a culture of growth and inclusion. Her impactful career includes leading the global efforts in diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives at GenPact, where she pioneered employee resource groups and launched the GenPact Women's Leadership Program in collaboration with Harvard. Educationally, she holds an MBA in Human Resources Development and has completed strategic leadership program at IIM Bangalore. She is committed to creating workplaces where everyone can thrive, championing initiatives that empower individuals to be active allies and leaders in diversity and inclusion. Welcome, Marti, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having
Ritu
me,
Manuja,
Sesha.
you're most welcome, Marti, and we look forward to your insightful discussion. Ritu Manuja is a learning head for next-gen technologies at Tech Mahindra. She specializes in driving innovative learning strategies in automation and AI. With over 24 years of experience in L&D, she has worked with leading organizations like Infosys and Syntel. She holds a bachelor's degree in computer science from Government College of Engineering, Kota. Her expertise includes leadership development, digital learning transformation, and talent development. She's passionate about creating learning environments that foster curiosity and continuous improvement. She aligns learning strategies with business objectives uh, to empower organizations to thrive in a rapidly changing world. Her dedication to leveraging learning for business growth and innovation is truly inspiring. Ritu Manuja, welcome, a very warm welcome, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Sai, for the flattering introduction. This was nice to hear from you. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay. Now, inspired by the trailblazing leadership of women like Sarojini Naidu and Indira Gandhi, to the modern leaders like Roshni Nadar Malhotra, Kiran Majumdar Shaw, Indra Nooyi, and of course the two leaders who are women leaders who are right with us here today in the studio, and many more out there, we reflect on the journey towards equality. Today, as we proceed, we explore balancing leadership, career growth, and personal well-being. Now, without any further ado, let's dive into a conversation with Aarti and Ritu, who will share their insights on achieving harmony in these critical areas. So here comes the first question, Aarti and Ritu, which is common for, so either of you can pick that question. My first question is, how do you handle work, your goals, and your health in today's busy world? So any one of you can take that.
I think, Ritu, you can start. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, Sai. First of all, thanks to you and the entire Strength Master team for inviting me and Aarti also to talk about balancing work, goals, health, and especially on the occasion of International Women's Day. This truly mean a lot to me. I'm emotionally touched, feeling grateful for this opportunity, and I must say that I promise I'll try to do justice these 45 minutes and will share insights which will help the fellow women, men, associates, people who have joined this webinar. So for me, how do I handle balance my work goals and health? For me, the key mantra is, I would say, is discipline, planning, and self-awareness. I have learned hard way, but being disciplined makes the things much simpler. Planning the day is very important. I look at the day before starting it and plan it well to ensure I have sufficient time for myself, my family, my health, my exercise, walk. And as I practice yoga, go for walk, I ensure I eat well. I take short breaks in between the work, and if I'm mentally, physically fit, I we all agree that it helps us to manage our goals and work more effectively, right? I have good friends whom I can share my thoughts, insights. I open my heart and keep conversing with them to keep myself young and energetic all throughout the day. Yeah, and it goes without saying that, yeah, I'm passionate about my work and I thoroughly enjoy it. But one thing which I want to emphasize and ensure that it reaches out to the audience who are listening us, that taking care of self is very important, and we have to make time out of it. And for me, as I said, the key mantra is discipline, planning, mindfulness. Yeah, so I want to leave here for Aarti to add more.
Yeah,
Thank
Aarti,
you so
over to
much.
you.
Yeah, thank you, Sai. Thank you so much. So, first of all, happy International Women's Day to everyone who has joined in. Thank you so much for joining in and tuning in to listen to both of us. And thanks, Sai and Strength Masters, for inviting me here. Glad to be able to share my learnings, which I have put together with in my experience with all of you. I think coming
Pleasure
back to the
all ours.
question in responding, I feel women are natural caregivers, and because of which they tend to deprioritize themselves and keep everyone else's needs above their own. And I'm no different. I have always, throughout my life, I had kept the same. It was only when couple of diagnostics, you just get a random blood work done and you realize that okay, there are the blood work is not 100% correct, and there are few diagnoses which come in. That's when it hits you that you have not kept your own health a priority. So the same had happened with me. So a couple of years back, couple of diagnoses which came in, nothing serious, usual, but I felt that I've never deprioritized myself. So why is it that I am facing this diagnosis right now? So I took control of my health, and of course, uh, without deprioritizing anything else. I stopped myself that I don't want to be 100% in everything. So you have to let go of some of the balls you are juggling at some point in time. And then I try to prioritize, I try to block 1 hour in my entire day for my own self, be it meditation, be it yoga, be it Zumba, or be it gym. I tried multiple things, and right now gym is something which is working out for me. I take out that time on a regular basis, and thankfully now it's been almost 2 years that I'm regular. I've been able to maintain a healthy lifestyle in terms of diet and in terms of moving my body. I feel moving your body is a blessing. People are who are not able to do so is I feel that's something which I'm able to do, and I have so much gratitude for that. So that only hits you when you reach a certain age and your tests do not come out fine. So I feel, and the people who are here, I would urge that let's not wait for that diagnostic to come. Uh, Prioritize your health, and of course, work and everything kinds of works around, and it happens, right? Life will go by, but our health will keep on deprioritizing, and it won't. That time won't come back. So that has worked for me. Prioritizing my me time, ensuring that I'm able to bring best in both my personal life and my professional life.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Ritu and Aarti, for providing us with some very very simple yet profound ways to to balance and balance your career, your personal well-being, and everything. Because especially Ritu, to pick up, if I have to summarize, I really like the way that you spoke about three things, which is discipline, planning, and mindfulness. And in fact, Aarti also spoke about that yes, women are naturally they are very good at taking like self management and managing others, and hence they are naturally leaders, born leaders. That's one. And second is, Aarti, I also especially like the point that let's not get too much into multitasking, because sometimes we tend to take pride in that. Okay, simultaneously I can execute so many things with excellence, which is not possible. Right? And that also to a large extent demands it, because both of you will emphasize on self-care, health especially. I think if you look at the four human dimensions, like from mind, body, heart, and soul, physically, if you're fit, yes, your mind will work, and we don't have to wait for the damage to happen. So let's be proactive and get ourselves checked up, especially after a certain age. And now, in today's such a fast-paced business, you see dynamics, and with so much of stress around, this becomes all the more imperative for all of us to actually, self-care becomes, utmost priority. So thank you so much, Aarti and Ritu, for those wonderful insights. Now coming on to the second question, Aarti, which is specifically for you. Now, in the healthcare domain, when things get tough, okay, how do you take care of yourself while still leading well?
Yeah. So it's I feel I feel it's not just healthcare. All the domains at this point in time are demanding. Every work is demanding. I won't take away from any particular industry or any particular job, honestly. And as I said earlier, taking care of yourself is a priority. You can't pour from an empty cup. So unless you are really self-sufficient and your health is your priority and you're happy, right? You won't be able to take care of any other thing for that matter. So I also started realizing it somewhere down the line in my life, and I also felt that my son is learning from me, and I have to be a role model for him. Unless if I don't take care of myself, my health, my team, my DRs, and my colleagues, I felt that I should be able to move around and set an example for everyone around me, instead of just deprioritizing myself. I wanted to set that positive example to by rejuvenating myself and taking care of myself specifically. So I think I wanted to lead with that energy, empathy, clarity in my head, and which has made me prioritizing my own self care. That's not an option for me now. So I make time for it. Even when I'm traveling, I make time for my own self care, and I do ensure that I do get 60 minutes out of my day.
Fantastic, Aarti. And that actually, as a leader, if you're able to set a precedence before others, that yes, I mean, you take care of your health, of course, that's of utmost priority. And then, if the energy that actually it oozes out of you, if that's palpable, obviously, it's going to create a ripple effect. So fantastic, Aarti. Thank you so much. With that, I'll come to the third question, which is Ritu. This is for you. Now, as a leader in tech. Okay. How do you deal with, of course, I mean, as Aarti rightly pointed out, regardless of healthcare and tech, but yeah, still, as a leader in tech, how do you deal with the challenges of new ideas in your personal life?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Sai, for this wonderful question. Yeah, we all agree that for the tech world, especially where I am in next generation technologies, is like a high speed roller coaster, always moving fast with new ideas, technologies popping up faster than I can grab them, understand them, update with them, get updated with them. So yeah, and I'm super passionate about my work, and I won't claim that I have figured out everything, how to balance out our work life, goal, personal life, everything. I'm still in a process of learning. Every day I'm learning, realizing that how can we manage our lives, personal lives, work, goal more efficiently, and how to keep the boundaries clear with work and personal life. I every day figure out there is a better way to do it. And IT employees, they are spread across the globe, so sometimes the calls are starting 8 a.m in the morning and closing at 8 p.m in the night. But as I said in my beginning of the opening of this discussion, that planning is one of the key. For example, I'll just give you an example. On Tuesdays, usually almost all Tuesdays, I have a yoga session to go and attend, walk down to the place and attend it. So but then these calls, I know this session is there, so I always keep in somewhere reminder in my mind while setting up my calendars that I have to make out time for this, right? So planning is the key. So if I keep it in my mind, set somewhere clearly in my mind that I have to attend this, so we have to balance it out, right? Both a productive work day and some well deserved time for our health. Balancing work well being isn't an easy task, but yes, it is doable with a lot of planning and a lot of mindfulness, I would say. And it is definitely possible. We have to just practice it out.
Fantastic. And this brings me to a very important point that I can clearly see a confluence. In fact, I'm glad that yes, we have representatives from two different industries, tech and healthcare, but there is a point of convergence because I guess we have been, both of you all have been emphasizing on you see personal health, self-care, which is the key. If I have to visualize, self-care is at the core. Because obviously every industry, has its own comes with its own set of challenges and pressures. Okay, and we have to somehow navigate through that. So Riku, you have been emphasizing on planning. Okay, uh, and Aarti has
Discipline.
been emphasizing prioritizing, which yes, which is one of the fundamental principles of the four disciplines of execution because you cannot really execute multiple things with excellence. So I think somewhere down the line, there has to be clear set of boundaries that yes, this is it. Beyond this, certainly not the cost of my health. Because if as a leader, if we don't ooze out that energy, as Aarti rightly pointed out, and then what precedents are we setting in front of our teams? Perfect. Thank you so much, Ritu. I mean that the conversation is really getting very, very interesting and insightful. Now another question, okay, which is coming your way, which is a common question. What ways have you found to keep work separate from your personal life while being a good leader? Now, anyone can take this, Aarti and Ritu. I leave it to you.
Yeah, yeah. So
Go ahead,
I
Aarti.
thank you so much. I feel for me, work and life are really not two separate entities. I don't look at it that way. They're interconnected pieces of essentially who I am as a person, as an individual. Especially after the pandemic, the lines between the professional and personal spaces got blurred significantly. And I found that instead of trying to rigidly separate them, embracing this fluidity kind of helps me to be more authentic in both areas of my life. What truly matters for me is creating an environment where my team feels empowered to bring their whole selves to work. By fostering that flexibility and understanding, I feel we can encourage everyone to have that sort of ownership and accountability and succeed in their own respective roles. It's more to build a culture of trust and enabling people to do their best for me rather than trying to segregate the two entities. So this approach has really helped me and my teams enhancing their professional lives, but also focusing on their personal well-being as well. Ritu, please.
Yeah, I
Fantastic.
agree. Yeah, I
Yeah, Ritu,
appreciate the
please.
answer you give. I think you have covered all the points which I wanted to say it out. Yeah, very happily, proudly saying that yes, the I don't create separate boundaries between personal and professional stuff, especially after pandemic. I agree with you. And but yes, at the same time, we need to cut off sometimes to be with family, right? So I take care that when I'm talking, spending time with my son or with my husband, with family, I ensure I don't look into phone and laptop. Let it be only 1 or 2 hours of the day, but that is exclusively for family. So that I take care of it, so that we are connected and that bond is getting stronger with family also, because finally they are the people who are supporting us when we need the most, along with our teams as well. Just one point which I want to emphasize on is the transparency. When I work with my team, I try to be as transparent as possible with the with communicating, and I want them also be transparent. When they need support, they are going for some time in between, so the other team members can pitch in and support them. So we work as a family there as well in office, so that everybody has the flexibility. And as Aarti said, that they take their responsibilities. How do they do it? Where are they doing it? That hardly matters in current scenarios. Over
Great,
to you.
great. Great. I mean, thanks, Aarti and Ritu. I guess what I'm hearing from you is like pandemic has really changed our thought process radically. Okay, because I think it's only after COVID that people have started, in general, have started realizing the importance of well-being, because suddenly holistic wellness programs and everything, there's going to mushroom, rise in that, and everybody start talking about that. And Aarti, and Aarti specifically, I like the point that you made, that you believe in that fluidity, because work-life balance. Are we using this very loosely? Because I remind, in my initial phase of my career, someone told me about 8-hour triad. Okay, so are we really following that? 8 hours of sleep and 8 hours of work and 8 hours of your other co-curricular activities. I don't, I think somehow, somewhere down the line, it has lost its essence. But I think what you just said is fluidity, and of course, Ritu, you seconded that. That if the boundaries are set very, very clearly, there is a clear demarcation line. And if you are encouraging your team members to come to your workplace with your whole self rather than half-heartedly, and then once you go back home, you're switched off. So here, now this is what a true work-life balance is all about. I don't know that there must be multiple connotations of work-life balance, but then yes, I mean, as both of you all have put it, very, very beautifully in a very simplistic way. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for those lovely inputs. Okay. Now, the next question, Ritu, this is for you. How does Tech Mahindra help women leaders grow through mentoring and support for diversity?
Great. So I am a proud Tech Mighty. We call Tech Mahindra's employees Tech Mighties. So I am a proud Tech Mighty, and I'll be
That's very
celebrating my
interesting. So Tech
15th.
mighty. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, we call it Tech Mighty, and I celebrate my 15 years this month, completing 15
Oh,
years with Tech
congratulations.
Mahindra.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And I can truly say I have had countless opportunities to grow into the professional what you see me today. So with Tech Mahindra, it has given me ample of opportunities, all the ways to, explore different roles and different opportunities and become what I am today. The company fosters an open culture that encourages personal professional development, and especially for women associates. And one of the very unique standout program we have, it we name it as Women Leadership Program, WLP. I'm just giving one name to you. There are multiple such program, but this is standout program which has won multiple international national awards, which is designed to empower and support our women associates. We also have dedicated mentors who guide and assist women in their career growth, career journey in Tech Mahindra. There are focused recruitment drives which attract on board more women associates employees. And this week, this is the Women's Week celebrated in Tech Mahindra, and we have variety of sessions lined up almost for every day, including sessions on financial planning, health related sessions, dietitian sessions, how to build the social media. I attended one session yesterday which marketing head conducted, how to build your social media present, and so much so is there. So Tech Mahindra gives ample of opportunities to women leaders to grow through mentorship and support to have more diversity.
Fantastic. Glad to hear that Tech Mahindra has some excellent initiatives in place for women leaders, and of course culture, which eventually leads into fostering culture of diversity. Great, Ritu. Thank you so much for accentuating on some very very vital points. Aarti, next question is, how has having people to support you help you succeed as a leader in R1RCA?
So I think I think we learned in class 6 civics that man is a social animal, and I feel it's a gender agnostic term. We are all social animals, and without network, we are really nothing. So it's not just me. I think anyone would need a network, some cheerleaders, their own personal board of members, to encourage them, to motivate them, to show them the right line of sight in case they are getting out of the way, right? So for same for me, I've created my own personal board of directors within this organization as well, and of course in my former organization as well. So I have that sounding board to who I reach out to when I'm launching any new initiative, and when I'm starting anything new. And honestly, my role here is leading the IND and leadership development piece for the organization, and I've been here for last 3 years, and I see that the constant focus on learning and the change advocacy and the absolute receptiveness of the leaders in terms of whatever initiatives and learning programs I have brought in. I think that has really helped me evolve as a person, as an individual, because it enables you to do more. You're given a blank canvas and you can draw more, and when you get positive feedback around it, then you tend to bloom. So that's what has happened for me. I think guidance and belief of my personal cheerleaders and my personal board of directors has been transformative for me, and it has really helped me navigate certain leadership challenges which I have definitely faced. And of course, I would like to add, because we're talking about this during the Women's Day, networking does not come to women naturally. So it has to be force fed, and I've done that as part of my women leadership programs and as part of my efforts as a IND leader as well. It is essential for us to build a support network who champions for us. So those connections will advocate for us, will speak for us in the rooms where we are not there. So try and create those in case you haven't till now. Thank you. Thank you, Sai.
Fantastic, Aarti. I mean, great. I mean, I really liked the way the analogy that you just came up with, cheerleaders, of course. I mean, they're required everywhere. Also, you emphasize on the fact that yes, it is gender agnostic. Okay, it's like going back to basics, right? I mean, the support system, and it's so heartening to know that you know not just in urban nursing, but also I heard Ritu saying that your leadership is quite supportive. They're not just giving their blessings, but then yes, they are actually invested in this whole philosophy of. I mean, I wouldn't, personally speaking. I mean, I really, we've been talking about women leaders and women, like women leadership and more women in leaders. I mean, I think that's where comes a bias, a very very conscious bias. I mean, I think we should, Aarti, I really support your point in that aspect that. Uh, like networking doesn't come natural to women. Of course, I disagree with that, but then in fact they are more in terms of. But yes, I'm sure you must be having logic. But it's glad to see that yes, if you are creating that kind of an ecosystem wherein they are getting adequate support, I don't see any challenge that why they cannot be in the top, and then we have more and more women leaders in actually the boardroom. Okay, so I think the day is not far that yes, we're going to witness that very soon. Thank you so much, Ritu and Aarti, for those wonderful insights. Very very simply, I mean, in fact, what I'm liking about this conversation is like you're giving us the audience very simple ways to and your real life experiences what you two women leaders have actually uh, like experienced and got exposed in your respective career strengths. Okay, so thank you so much. So moving ahead, okay, now this is again a common question. Okay, Aarti and Ritu, any one of you can take this. How do you leverage your personal strengths to balance leadership, career growth, and personal well-being?
I think Ritu
Let
should
me
Shall I
let
go? Yeah,
you
I'll
share
take
first.
that.
Yeah, in balancing leadership, career growth, and personal well-being.
Sure. Thanks, Sai, for this question. So I leverage my personal strengths, but then sometimes those personal strengths, my children say they become too much for them to handle, such as strong time management. I am too much onto managing my time. I like to define my day, go by that. It's not that I don't accept the runtime changes into it, but in the morning itself, I like to plan it out well so that I have time for everything. As I mentioned in my first conversation itself at the beginning, discipline. So I proudly say, some people may not like it, but I proudly say I get up by 4:45 every day, whether it's a Saturday, Sunday, or whatever. So I am very disciplined. Some of those personal strengths, I consider them as strengths: strong time management, being disciplined, empathy, adaptability, accepting people the way they are. I don't know, but I like everybody who comes into contact with me. I see their positivity, positive points. I encourage them to work on those. If there is some team member and I don't know, intentionally, unintentionally, I see their strengths first and try to leverage those strengths. And these all I use for balancing leadership, career growth, personal well-being, all of these things: planning, being into discipline, time management, accepting the people they are, being happy all throughout the day, help me in my personal well-being, managing my teams. When I'm happy, they also feel happy about it. Not cribbing all the day, balancing my day, being happy with them. My ability to prioritize tasks. I'm very focused, customer focused, doing things on working on to task management, taskmaster. So management time effectively allow me to stay focused on both my professional responsibilities, personal life, without being feeling overwhelmed with the work. So, and empathy towards the team, which helps me to create a good environment while ensuring we remain mindful of each of their needs, my need, well-being. So these some of these strengths help me to manage all of it effectively. And I won't claim I'm all there. I'm still in the learning process.
No, I can clearly
Thanks.
see Aarti with the, Ritu, with the kind of conviction that you have, because being in tech sector, I can see that you clearly bring in a blend of both being a leader who's task oriented at the same time a leader who's people oriented. So I guess
Yes.
you've been able to leverage technology to the fullest, because I somewhere came across saying that you should rule your technology, technology should not rule us. And I think you have been able to do that with almost seamless perfection. Yeah, Aarti, your take on that on this question.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, Ritu, for adding a bunch of things which you really bring in and leverage as your personal strengths. I feel for me personally, what really works well is empathy in my interpersonal skills of bringing in empathy and adaptability to the forefront. I feel that kind of allows my team to open up and to share, and I'm able to understand them better as well. From if they are facing any challenges or if they are overwhelmed, the amount of work we are doing in. I feel those things are important because that helps us form genuine connections and creating that nurturing environment where they're able to thrive and at least share their challenges as well. So we work those out together. And of course, adaptability in this whole VUCA environment, I think that is something which will help everyone to move forward, because otherwise, life is moving so fast. And we were talking about it, Sai, prior to the session. Like AI is hitting us is
Yeah.
hitting us so rapidly. So if we don't move forward with the changes which are happening right now, it will be difficult for us to, and we'll be left behind. So I think that is something which I definitely make time for, to get updated about what is happening in the market. There's a lot happening in the DNI space in globally right now. So I make sure that I'm aware of whatever is happening uh, in current affairs, in my own working space, and in something which I'm associated with. Given the fact that I take care of the leadership development piece, I need to know all the elements of learning and development which are thriving across. So that's how I try to leverage my personal strengths, and I try to bring them together into my role as well. Thanks, Sai.
Great, Aarti. Thank you so much. I guess, so Aarti, one thing that clearly comes out of what you said is like adaptability is the key, which is the most mission critical competency. And you also gave the reference of AI. Of course, the world is changing rapidly, and I really like the fact that yes, you're trying to keep yourself abreast with what's happening in the DI space globally, because you being a practitioner of DEI for the last almost 15 years now, like Ritu just completed 15 years. Ritu, just to share with you now, an audience, Aarti worked with Genpact for almost 15 years. So I can see a
Yes.
common, the 15 as a common figure. So yeah, so I think what you and Aarti, what you and Ritu said is, I mean, based your inputs. I can clearly see that empathy, adaptability, and flexibility, agility. These are some of the critical areas wherein which is imperative if you're able to use your personal strengths. And I can see, Aarti, I'm sure adaptability would be definitely in your top five strengths, because the way you have been keeping yourself, as a leader, the way you have been adopting these practices to keep yourself, not just yourself, but your team also intact, and make them sure that yes, they are up to date with what's happening. Yeah. So great, fantastic. I guess now that brings us to the next question, which is okay. Now, Aarti, this question is again to you. How do you make a workplace that supports a good balance between work and life, especially for women?
Yeah, I think I kind of touched upon this when we were talking
You did.
about
You
how
did. Yes.
pandemic
Yes. Yes.
pandemic has blurred all these lines. I think my response remains the same. And someone who's custodian of doing this within the organization as part of my role as IND leader, I feel creating a supportive ecosystem is something which is imperative for us at R1. And I think most organization in today's day and age are doing this, uh, allowing people, and not just women. I feel flexibility is not something which is a woman's ask. It is something which today's day and age after COVID, I think this is a norm, right? The work should happen irrespective from where that is happening. So I advocate for flexible work arrangements unless customer imperative. That's what we aspire for. And of course, the open communication between teams. So as an organization, we have that open channels wherein associates or leaders try and connect with each other very regularly, so that there is that open channel of communication which is happening. Definitely, we also provide mentorship and support networks to women who are coming back from maternity, or women who are joining us after career break, irrespective of whatever reasons. So we try and we have those formal programs wherein we create those support groups for someone who is joining back after some career grade gap, kind of gets that hand holding when they come back. So we do have those examples in terms of formal support network. And of course, I run two support networks, ERGs, and as part of R1, one for women, one for our LGBTQ community folks. So that's also an informal way wherein the team comes together and we kind of share our experiences and how can we really be allies to women and to the community as well. So that's where we are.
Great, Aarti. I mean, it's good to see that these support, support ecosystems are not just there on the books, but then you've been actually been able to implement that on the floor. You spoke about women leadership programs. You spoke about ERGs. You spoke about the LGBTQ community. I guess these are some of the areas wherein, yes, I mean, because I also heard you saying that in your previous answer to your previous question, where where you specifically emphasized on the symbiotic association, symbiotic relationship. So nobody, we cannot operate in isolation. Okay, there has to be people around. Like, as you rightly said, we are all social animals. Okay, so unless and until we learn that concept and getting back to basics, that of course we cannot. We are living in the world of interdependence. Okay, so we cannot operate in independent fashion. Okay, so it's good to see that you're actually bringing up, coming up with these initiatives and making sure that yes, they are getting executed rather than you know uh, like remaining in the books itself. Fantastic. So let's move forward with the next question. And Ritu, this is for you. Now, how has your leadership changed to be more flexible for you and your team? I mean, you have been with tech for the last 15, Tech Mahindra for the last 15 years. So how do you feel that your leadership has changed to be able to be more flexible to yourself, not just to yourself, but also to your team?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, it's over time, which has with when it has changed. I think my leadership style has evolved to become more flexible. I agree, and especially in last 7 8 years, I have become more observant, seeing other leaders, observing them, learning from the leadership, that how are they dealing with their teams, how are they managing it, attending multiple training programs I myself have attended in last 7 8 years to understand, because it's a learning curve. More and more you understand how to deal with the people, how to deal with the teams, how to become more productive, work efficiently, make our teams also comfortable. So I would say it's a learning process cycle, and I have evolved to become more flexible, both for my own well-being and to support better my team. We all learn with time and experiences. So I have shifted from a more structured, one size fits all approach to a style that recognizes the unique needs and strength of each team member. There, I'll just take a quick example. There is a team member who is good in doing repetitive tasks, but others don't like to do that, right? But that I realized after some time. So we all started giving him the repetitive tasks. He's happy, and everybody else is also happy, right? Now automation has come to replace the repetitive tasks. That's another thing, but yes, that's how I identify the strengths of the team members, observe them closely, so that so that we can leverage their strengths. And yes, as Aarti also mentioned, I encourage open communication, trust my team to manage their responsibilities in the way that works best for them, right? Some of the team members have small children. They drop their children to school, they want to come early to office, go early back to home. That's all fine. If the work is getting done, I have no problem. If sometimes they want to work from home, if they are responsible, taking the ownership, right? Ownership of their work, then I'm all good. This flexibility allows them to maintain a healthy work life balance and perform at their best level. Additionally, I have become more comfortable with adjusting expectations when needed, whether it is remote work or accommodating different work styles. Some people connect late in the evening, disconnect early. So all that flexibility is okay if teams are open for taking their responsibility. uh, right. So I, as a leader, I have become, earlier I used to, 7 8 years back, if I see myself, I used to give the feedbacks once in a quarter or once in 6 months. Now I have evolved so much so that I stay in touch with my team continuously. I am giving them feedback. At the end of year, we don't have anything much to share as an appraisal, right? I've continuously evolved. They are also evolving, and I am seeing that I'm able to create more leaders within my team. That's the best feeling which I get if I see somebody is emerging as a leader out of being a very, working on a small scale, some little task in the team. When given flexibility and empowerment, they themselves are coming out as a fantastic leaders. So I believe we all perform better, contribute more creatively, and bring stronger relationship when flexibilities are given. And all these uh, changes which have come in my style of leadership is with experience and time.
Fantastic. So, okay, now one question which is like, it's intriguing me, which I would like to know from both of you all, because, we have been, you have been emphasizing on flexibility. So, do you feel that Aarti and Ritu, I mean, and I'm sure our audience would also like to understand that flexibility to what extent do you think that there's a flip side also to the, like, should there be an upper ceiling to flexibility? Do you feel that, or any specific instance wherein, no, I'm not talking here, here about women's, it's like gender agnostic. Flexibility to what extent? And have you seen in your experience that this has been misused in like, some way or the other? I mean, anyone. I mean, I'm just curious to know that, because flexibility on one hand, yes, it's good, but there are always pros and cons attached to it. So, do you feel
Yeah.
that, because I have seen in my tenure that, uh, in my case, because whenever my boss, I can clearly think of a couple of instances wherein I did take this for granted, of course, and I won't hesitate in saying that. But yeah, but at to what extent flexibility should be like provided?
So Aarti, if you don't mind, I would like to add here some pointers.
Please, please.
Yes, so I have seen both sides of it. I have seen the negative side of it also. What you are saying is flexibility given to some people. They take some disadvantage of it. They take it for granted, right? When flexibility is given, it comes with its own responsibility, right? So yes, there is an upper limit. One is we have enough policies in the system, right? And you that has to be adhered. And if you have to give flexibility beyond that also, which I sometimes go beyond and give, looking at the scenarios that the particular team member is in, so we do that, I do that. And but I keep a watch, I keep an understanding between me and the associate, the employee, that this is not taken for granted. So yes, there is always a risk that it might be taken for granted, misused, but we have to be very uh, judiciously giving it and observing it also, and helping the associate. They might do it unknowingly sometimes, because of the
Okay, so
situation they are into. So we have to bring them
perfect.
to back to the reality.
Perfect. Ritu, so Aarti, you're quick take, because I think we've just left
We'll
with
get
1 minute.
yes,
So
yes.
yeah,
So
so
I think
you're
Ritu said it. Ritu said it very well, and I would just hang on to that thought as well. That with power does come responsibility. So flexibility definitely is a privilege for us in today's day and age, and of course, it's also depends on the integrity of the person, or as to how responsibly they are using it. So yes, there are people who misuse it, and that I think there are policies in each organizations to manage and mitigate those issues. But by large, I feel feel the authentic people who really are serious about working in and their career growth do take out time and manage that as well. I'm just looking at the timer, and that's why I'll just
No, no,
stop.
that's perfectly fine. I guess we've been able to cover, most of. So great, Ritu. Thank you, Ritu and Aarti, for this wonderful conversation and a very insightful one. Now, dear LinkedIn leaders, as we conclude this insightful conversation with Aarti Chauhan and Ritu Manuja, we hope you've been inspired by the experience and strategies for balancing leadership, career growth, and personal well-being. Okay, let's continue to empower each other and strive for a more inclusive and supportive environment for all. Right. So, thank you all for joining us on this special International Women's Day celebration. You have a wonderful week ahead and weekend, and stay blessed, be cheerful, and watch out for this space for our upcoming LinkedIn podcast. Thank you once again. Thank you, Aarti and Ritu, once again for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you, Sai. Thank you, Ritu. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aarti.
Okay.
Bye.